Well, all right. So good evening, everybody, once again. Welcome to another backtesting series, another backtesting time. So we want to have a glimpse of what Crash 500 loves to do. Okay. All right. So right from inception, Crash 500 has always been selling. Like, I feel like this guy is a selling index, lower high, lower low, 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 lower high. Okay, so this guy has always been selling. So let's see how this guy plays structure. How this guy plays structure. Come in, I want to see something. Piece of okay. So let's start from here. Let's start from here. Well, I would say higher low, higher high, right? Break of structure. It didn't come into this institutional candle. No, it did not. It just filled this IPA. Just a moment, please. Sorry about that. I had to reload. Crash 500. So where were we? We're all the way up here. So I was saying, here is POS right here. Right? So what's up? Yeah, they just feel this imbalance. IPA. I trade acting up now. So they just feel this IPA and then dumped. All right. And yeah, beautifully. Can you guys see my screen? Come back.
Should mute themselves now.
Yeah, so sorry, I'm having a little bit of network glitch. So again, after coming into this IPA here, look at what they did, I higher low, higher high. Then they did what? Break structure. And this time around, they came into this institutional candle. All right. You've seen them play imbalance. You've seen them play institutional candle, right? So that makes it two things right now that they've played. So let's continue. All right. So, and then after that, price goes a new low, right? Okay, yeah, the first close below here. Did they really close below actually? Let me see. Let's switch to the line charts. They really didn't close below actually. Okay. So more like they just swept. Okay. They swept these lows, left equal lows here. And then they came back for the institutional candle.
So I have 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 6 is 12 plus another 6 is 8.
Okay. So let's move on. And ever since that time, they started dumping. All right. Now, why did price reject from here? This most likely would have been like a smart money cube here. Yeah, this would have been smart money cube here. Okay. And then, so institutional candle, imbalance, and smart money cube so far is what we've seen them play over time. Yeah. So I wish we could have all of this past data to see what really happened on lower time frame. Why did they buy from here? Okay. So here is another smart money cube they bought from, and I think they did give like I give you 1 to 4 nicely. Right. So this is daily. Do not forget, this is actually daily. We'll still go down to 4 hours and 8 hours to really have a clear view of what this guy loves to play. Okay, what this guy loves to play. Let's move on. I think I saw something around here. Okay. So here they selling from here. They selling from this area. The only thing I can see is this institutional candle, this wickless candle. Is it really a wickless candle? Yeah, kind of a wickless candle, actually, but also an institutional candle. So they came into this guy. So there's this smart money cube here. All right. So I hope you are taking that down. We'll see the one that is most consistent with crash 500. Now, basically, while they were selling down, they gave us this, all of this liquidity pool here. And we can see how they came and swept everything. I think crash 500 likes to create a lot of liquidity along the way for it to come back to capture, right? This kind of move, would see if we had it again in the course of this. All right. So after sweeping liquidity, what did they do? They closed below here, all right, and then they came back into this institutional candle, right? And ever since then, they've been selling, they didn't come back. Why did they reject from here? Okay. They rejected at this institutional candle, right? Okay. So let's continue. Now this equal I, let's see if they came back for it in the future or they just left it. All right. So yet again, why did they sell from here? They sold from this institutional candle, right? This makes it almost like the fourth time they are playing institutional candles, right? And then I think, let's see if that was a 50% that they played. Just a minute. Let me remove all of these levels here. Let's see. Okay, so they just came a bit above the 50% of that institutional candle. And then they did what? They sold. Okay. So let's continue. Remember, we still have this equal eyes here. Let's see if they came back for it. Wow. I mean, after how many weeks, right? After how many weeks they did come back to clear all of these eyes. And remember I said Crash 500 likes to like create a lot of liquidity along the way, right? We could see, you could view this more like, you know, all of this gigantic dynamic liquidity here. They came back, they swept it. Let's see where they came into. I would have loved to see this on a much more lower time frame. This most likely would have been an institutional candle. If we go down to the 8 hours, we would see. We'll see if we go down to the 8 hours. So they did come back for that. Now, here, what did they do? Okay, so it may not really be clear ball. This lower high, lower low, right? Break of structure. And then where did they continue their buy from? From this bullish candle. Right? This last bullish candle before the explosive move to the upside. Or let's just say the bearish candle, rather. Bearish candle is the institutional candle, right? Institutional candle, did they play 50%? Yeah, super sniper. 50% was a super sniper. And then they were moving up, cleared all of that liquidity, and then they dumped. So these patterns, they repeat themselves in the market. So you can just always want to like, you know, have an overview of all of it. Let's see what happened here again. Okay. So this was, you know, another liquidity sweep. Then they came back into this last candle. I mean, I think they even they wicked everybody out and then closed within structure. They wicked everybody out here and then still respected even this structural point. They still respected this structural point. Okay. So in case you think you trade on as 500 and then they weak you out, you know, don't be angry. That's why I always advise that add fractals to your chart. Okay. So if your stops was, maybe above that fractal, let's see. The stops was above this fractal, right? On this guy. Okay, so let's move forward. All right, so they didn't feel all of this imbalance. They just came into the, what do you call these guys? Yeah, you guys call this a breakout block. Please, if you're in a noisy environment, just mute yourself so that others can hear and learn. Okay, so came back into this breakout block. That's the first time we are seeing them play a breakout block. Okay. Why did they sell from here? Let me see. Let's see if you can go down to, and there's something I would like us to look out for, current price action pattern, which I hope would have the time to go into it. All right, so let's just go, let's keep. We had this higher high, higher low, higher high, structure, institutional candle. By now, we should know that this guy respects institutional candles a lot, right? First came a bit above the open, then I'm sure this was 50%. Later came back for 50%, if we are not mistaken. Yeah, later came back to play the 50%, and then ever since then it has been dumping. Okay, now this short buy that we had here, this one, this is a weakless candle, an imbalance, right? Plus to the left there is an institutional candle, right, that price came into. All right, so this guy, one thing that is common to this guy is institutional candles. So let's go down to the 8 hours. Okay, so now let's really look at let's really look at current price action pattern, because I don't know if some of us have experienced this, like in the past 2 weeks, where you have a point of interest on the lower time frame, but price doesn't come there, it just leaves you and then it booms. And sometimes you may even still have imbalances for price to fill. Who has experienced that, like in the past 2 weeks now? Just drop your ones in the chat if you have experienced that. Drop a 1 in the chat if that has happened to you. Okay, I see one. Okay. All right. So now I need us to understand that synthetic indices are programmings, right? They are algorithms, right? So Deriv would more often than not, from time to time, change change the pattern at which they do, at which they do their stuffs. All right, to change the pattern of price movement and all of these things. Now let's take a look. Let's take a deep look into this area. I mean, this region, right? All right, so let's take a look. Let's go down to a lower time frame. So that we can use current price pattern. This is what backtesting is all about. Just a minute, please. Let me reload this. All right, just a few minutes. All right, sorry guys. I'm trying to resolve this network problem. So we're on the 8 hours, and I said that we're going to check something. All right. So this area right here, right? This is our institutional candle, right? So let's go down to the 30 minutes and see what really happened there. Okay, so I mean, beautiful. Now, can you see this? On 30 minutes, we have this imbalance still sitting here. We have this imbalance, all of this. But then on the 8 hours, let's go back to the 8 hours. Look at what happened on the 8 hours. Okay, no, I think it was previous to the left. Let's see to the left. Okay. All right, so yes, here to the left, they came into this area, right? Again, an institutional candle. But let's see, there's something I'm looking for. I want to give us a clear example. Now to see if they did it on crash 500. Okay, I don't think they've done it recently. But what I'm trying to show us is on the higher time frame, price would already give you a balanced price action. But then on the lower time frame, what you would see is that you still have your POI below. But if you now go back to check your higher time frame, you would realize that they have already filled, they already have a balanced price action. Now, based on this current structure, right, price should for no reason close below this guy. For no reason. Sorry. Close below that area. Okay. So if they continue buying up from here, right, there are still imbalances below on, like, say the 1 hour. Yeah, there's still an imbalance on the 1 hour. But then they can just easily decide to continue, the up push from here. Because on the higher time frame, that area is already a balanced price action. Do we understand? Do we understand what I'm trying to point out to us?
Yes.
So, yeah. Now, let's look at why they bought from here. Obviously, structure is bullish on this side, right? And then I'm sure somebody might have been looking at this area for price to come into this area. But then, this area, this region is already balanced. So it doesn't make sense for price to come there. So the best place they can come is to come and mitigate out of, a zone they have not mitigated out of before, which was this. All right. And then on the left also, we had this, they close below here. Okay. So we had this break of structure here, and this institutional candle was what they came to play. All right. So we are seeing price play institutional candles very, very well. Now, okay, beautiful. I think this is a perfect example. Or let's say imbalance. This is an imbalance here. All right. This is an imbalance. Did price come there? No. Now let's go to the 4 hours and see what happened on the 4 hours. So this is still like recent. On the 4 hours, that imbalance is not even there at all. It's not there. Okay. So what did they play on the 4 hours? Look at this beautiful last institutional candle, right? They came into this candle already. And then can you see how they beautifully gave that break of structure and then they continued? So for those of us that would have been waiting on the 1 hour for the imbalance to be filled, this guy would have left us. And already this guy currently, if we had, probably had our entry here and stops below, this guy gave a 1 to 4. Right? Do the maths. This is 222 points. Okay, so just do the math. 0.20 times 222 points. Okay. And then this this candle, where did they reject from? A smart money cube, which is also an institutional candle. Okay. So obviously, this guy on the sell, lower high, lower low, this institutional candle, which is also a weakless candle and imbalance, right? They came back into it. Then this candle that took out all of these stop losses here, they also played it. Let's go down to the 2 hours to see. Oh, wow. Okay. Wanted to see the sell. Yeah. So this was it right here. On the 2 hours, it was clear. They came into this last up candle, right? And then boom, they sold off. They sold off. So any questions before we round up? I think we already have what we are looking for. This guy likes to play institutional candles, you know, a lot of the time. So you mark out your structure, all right, your POI, your liquidity sweep, then you're looking out for that institutional candle that has not been mitigated out of. Okay. That institutional candle that has not been mitigated out of. All right, so any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Okay, I'll take
No questions, sir.
Did you say a question?
I said no questions, sir.
No question. All right, all right, all right. So I think we can call it a night from there, from here. Thank you all for joining. Have a wonderful and lovely night.
Thank you.